ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनाशलाकया चक्षुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्णा हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। Hare Krishna devotees, very warm welcome. I hope you're all doing well, and thanks for accepting this meeting request. Today is 6th October, Friday, and we are starting the Teach to Learn session on the Action Learning Project 7, that is SWOT analysis. It's a very important exercise, and it is going to be a bit different from the other exercises that we have done. And it's a crucial point before we move to next few steps of the journey. So basically, my objective of today's session is to teach you what I have learned from the session that was conducted by His Grace Rupananda Prabhu, the head of GBC College. And by teaching, I will also learn. So actually that started even before I'm coming forward to you. Even for preparing this session, I have got some learning. I've transcribed his recording of the session also, went through the text transcript and prepared a small presentation because it's going to be interesting. At the same time, it's very important for us to know what we need to do in this session. So before I go further, I wanted to specifically and formally through this meeting recording, I want to thank His Grace Rupananda Prabhu for all his efforts and all the team members of the GBC College who have been giving us so many Siksha learning. Apart from the Action Learning project, we are also been into several wonderful sessions. A glimpse of one session I'm going to share with you, which is very much related with the today's session. So once again, a big thanks to GBC College for giving us this opportunity. So in the session today, I'm going to share a presentation that I've prepared to make things simple. So I'm sharing my screen. Just let me know. Okay. I hope all of you are able to see the screen, right?
Yes, Prabhuji, you can see nicely.
Good. Okay, so before starting, we'll just recap our journey of strategic planning. Ultimately, we are going to deliver a strategic plan for our project that is not only going to be useful for the project, but also to the Yatra now and in the future. So beginning, we have built the team building and project definition that we have done. Project has got many deliverables, but one core thing is focused on devotee care, how to systemize and introduce processes to improve our services. Then understanding our strategic foundation that we have done, followed by mission and vision statements, audience analysis and competitive analysis. So the journey was going on, and then we did a pest analysis, opportunities and threats. We did an elaborate exercise on that. And then the last exercise was organization assessment, strength and weakness. So in the pest, we have done opportunities and threats. And in the organization assessment, strength and weaknesses, I think beginning of this week, I've sent the document that I prepared based on your inputs and my own little bit value adds to I've already submitted the assignment. Now comes SWOT analysis. So this assessment is based on SWOT. SWOT is strength, weakness, opportunity, and threat. So if you look at it one way, we have already done it. We have already identified opportunities and threats. We have already identified strength and weaknesses. So it may look like it's just a collection of these and putting it in a sheet, right? Which is in a way right, but there is some more than that. After we put, there is some activity that we need to do to derive benefit out of it. So historically, SWOT analysis is a well-researched and well-accepted methodology and a tool used in many business functions. It has come from various papers on business case studies and analysis in the Harvard University, which is supposed to be a very, very top-notch university in US. And the work of SWOT analysis is a derivative, an outcome of several experts in analysis, several professors there, and many organizations use for quite many reasons. So today we are using that technique, that tool for our for Krishna consciousness, and mainly for enhancing our devotee care, how it can help. So after this SWOT analysis, we'll move to key result areas and strategic objectives and goals and actions, and then we'll conclude the strategic plan. So from here onwards, 8, 9, 10 should be much simpler because we have done all the homework. And one more very interesting thing today is that this, whatever we are going to speak today, is not only useful, it's mandatory for us to do the assignment as we are doing the project, but more than that, it can be applied in various other aspects of our yatra and our own services. And also we can individually apply in our personal life and also in our business life, professional life. So professional life, business life, yatra in other services, and assignment. There are 4 core benefit areas in the SWOT analysis. And that's why we need to take a careful look at what we need to do and what we have to learn. Okay, I'll just give a pause here. If anyone has any questions on this, our journey so far, you can raise your hand so that I can see. Otherwise, we can move on. Only one small thing that I wanted to tell is that in the meeting request, I said the meeting could be only for 45 minutes. But as I prepared what I wanted to speak, I think it may run up to 1 hour. Okay, but I'll put a soft target of 45 minutes. But it may run up to 10-15 minutes more. But I think there might be some questions. So if you see our work so far, again, thanks to all of you. In one session, one thing we have already analyzed our threats and weaknesses. That is left side of the screen. You see a whole lot of threats, or we have opportunities and threats and opportunities we have identified. And this is what I've taken from the document that I've submitted to the GBC College as a part of the assignment. On the right side is what we have submitted as the strengths and weaknesses. So we have identified our strengths. We have identified our opportunities and threats, strengths and weaknesses, opportunities and threats. These are there already. So this is good homework done. So what is interesting in these analysis is that we had to do a lot of research, data collection, surveys, interviews, reading through material outside our devotional domain, going to different sites, and we have collated a lot of information and compiled these documents, right? But in SWOT analysis, we don't have to refer any document. We don't have to do any survey. It's only internal exercise that we have to do, each one of us. So according to the GBC College, basically we have to pick up 4, one for each of these strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats, and do a deep analysis. But in this, what I was thinking is, we will take each one of us with the exercise that I'm going to show what we're going to do. We'll do 2 sets each, and then we can combine and then see what is the common thread that we're going. And for that, we'll have definitely 2 to 3 weeks, complete weeks to do the thinking and analysis. At any point in time during your thing, you can always come back to me. So as I told, strength, weakness, opportunities, and threats, these are the SWOT analysis. We have already done it. You have to just fill these boxes that are being displayed here, right? And from there, today, what we are going to do is that we're trying to get to a kind of an action plan, implement actions that are meant for us to benefit in the near future, and also what is our aspirations in the long-term future. How do we use the data of strength, weakness, opportunities, and threats that is present, and how do we use this present information, knowledge, and analysis that we have got to do something for our near future and long-term future? Again, I repeat, kindly pay full attention to this, whatever I'm trying to say, because it has a good utility beyond this project. That's very, very important for us to know. So basically what we are going to do, we are going to club two elements of this SWOT analysis. Strength and opportunities. If you club, what happens? How can we use our strengths to take the advantage of these opportunities? Then we club strength and threats. How can we take advantage of our strengths to avoid potential threats? Then weakness and opportunities. How can we use opportunities to overcome the weaknesses that you're experiencing? And weakness and threats, how can we minimize our weaknesses and avoid our threats? So it's very interesting combination, right? Among these, if you take strength and opportunities, how can we use our strength to take advantage? This, I would say, a very linear thinking. It's very straightforward, right? We have a good strength of wonderful leadership. We have set up so many good foundational programs. Opportunity for us is to increase our retention rate through outreach. That can be taken as a weakness or an opportunity also, depending upon how you take it. Opportunity from this exercise is that how do we convert the outreach program, or how do we develop the Friends of Krishna? That's what Pulrik Prabhu has done the analysis, right? If you want to go 2x or 3x or 5x or 10x, we need to have Friends of Krishna. Just because by focusing only congregation devotees who are fully committed, we will not be able to increase that. So that's one example. It's a very linear thinking. It's very easy. I have strength. I have the opportunity. Like, for example, I have a lot of money is there in me, in my, I wish I would, but if I had a lot of money in the bank and I suddenly see that the real estate prices are crashing. So I immediately make use of this opportunity because of our strength. I'll buy a property, right? This is very easy. It's a linear thinking. Normally, we can easily relate to that. Strength and threat is like a business thinking. How can you take advantage of your strength to avoid a potential threat? So if I have a strength and I see an impending threat, how do I use that to gain the advantage? How do I make use of my strength to overcome that potential threat? Weakness opportunities is how can I use opportunity to overcome the weakness? It goes reverse. If there's an opportunity, but there is a weakness, how do I do? And this is where the first is linear thinking, in my understanding. Second is a kind of a business thinking. Third and fourth, weakness and threats. How can we minimize our weakness to avoid threats? The third and fourth, weakness opportunities combination, weakness and threat combination is where risk-taking innovation comes. A majority of the great business success stories come from this. We'll also take some ISKCON-related examples in this. If we look at the examples of how Zoom became a popular video conferencing thing during COVID, beating its rival like Cisco, WebEx, and GoToMeeting and other things. How Xerox became a name, a synonym for photocopying. How CAFU in our own Dubai or in UAE, that CAFU, very, very successful company, which became very big during COVID. How they've used the weakness or opportunities or weakness and threat in the systems to get there. Another great example is Tesla. So in weakness and opportunities, weakness and threat, there is something, particularly in weakness and threats, is something to do with change. The change means not change, sorry, to create something which is not there. Tesla is a very good example. The threat was so many carbon emissions restrictions are coming throughout the world, particularly in the Western world. So how do we reduce the carbon footprint, still having to have to be able to transport from A to B? What is that market? Before Tesla came, virtually electric vehicle market was very, very minimal, right? He created, the Tesla owner, he created a market of electrical thing, right? It was not there. So weakness and threats and weakness and opportunity, very interesting. It needs thinking. And Uber is another critical of something that is coming from weakness and opportunities, weakness and threats. Car prices are increasing, fuel prices are increasing. People don't have capital investment to buy cars. And if there is any system that is coming, Google Maps is another good example. I'll come to that example when I'm help Then Oyo Hotels is another great example in India. Online tutoring is one thing that is there. From an ISKCON perspective, online tutoring throughout the world, how it has how it has become a big business, right? Not only in Western countries, but in India also, Bijus of the world and other things. And then we have this in our ISKCON sense, if you see how we can use it in e-book distribution, because there is a threat is there that we cannot openly distribute books, and there's also weakness is there that threat is there that we will face some legal action. Weakness is there that people also may be afraid to buy a book openly because of certain restrictions. So how do we use this to put something whole new concept? The e-book distribution by Naikatma Prabhu actually has used in a way these kind of things to do this. So this, as I told you, this exercise, we don't have to refer anything outside. We don't have to research. We have to just take those two sets of each strength and opportunity, prepare this. So how do we do this? The tool basically. So we have this thing, right? Anyway, I'm going to share this presentation to you. So this will become your working document. So as I told, strength, weakness, opportunity, threat that we see in the left side of the picture, it is there. But how do we see them? Strength and opportunity are the positive things. Weakness and threat are the kind of a negative thing that might impact us negatively. That is the y-axis, if you see. X-axis is strength, weakness is internal. Strength and weakness is an internal analysis. Opportunities and threat is that what we have done when we said a helicopter view, right? What are the opportunities and threat? So one is internal positive, internal negative, external positive, external negative. Okay. So this is the blank sheet that we have. So what we need to do is we need to fill up the right-hand side boxes. And there's a very good guidance is there. Strength, opportunity, strategy, pick up something that in that list that I have shared with you. Grow and be proactive. As I told, strategies that use strengths to maximize opportunities and use opportunities to further our strength. As I told you, increase the conversion rate from our outreach programs. Make those efforts because we have strength. People are accepting us. People are calling us for Damodar Aarti program. People are calling, the social organizations are calling us to do some help for their program because they know that we have a resource strength, we have a seva strength, and we have philosophical strength. And we are well respected, right? Sometimes the kind of respect that we get during Damodar Aarti is much more than what we deserve. So that's a strength opportunity. Strategize that use your strength to maximize your opportunity. And then we move to strength and threat. So there could be a threat strategy that use strength to avert or minimize threats and use threats to reinforce our strength. So strength is that we are having a good program. We are having particularly congregation strength is good. Now we are also having increasing amount of nationalities also. Western devotees are also coming. And then we are conducting big programs. We are able to invite some officials there. That's our strength. What is the threat? Threat is always looming there. We know the general restrictions and the kind of risks that we have to take. But using the strength of being able to conduct such a high volume programs and giving a space to the Indian communities or people who believe in Sanatana Dharma or Hindu faith, a space for them to practice their faith beyond their houses and in a community. That's a strength that we can utilize to overcome this threat by developing government relationships, for example. That's a stream that is not part of our project. That's not part of our devotee care, but I think it's a stream that will come out from Srivalla Prabhu's project probably. But we also can pick up something from our devotee care. That kind of a threat is there, but we can use our strength, our good offices, goodwill trust to overcome that thing and get some permissions, more reasonable permission. Weakness and opportunity, improve and be proactive. Opportunity, so weakness and opportunity is where there is a weakness, but there's an opportunity, and there is something existing that we need to improve. For example, weakness is generally kind of a devotee care. because as one of the devotees, I think Pundrik Prabhu has mentioned in his comment, as we are growing bigger is good, but we are also becoming a bit impersonal because we are also having our own kind of a people and whom we meet, whom we talk. So that is causing some issue in the organization, and sometimes we are missing and we don't have that a proper devotee care. That's in different aspects of it. We can pick up one of them. And opportunity is that if you systemize the devotee care, but because we all have a sense of serving and we all have a common objective, we all want to grow individually and collectively. That is our, and there's an opportunity there. And so since the common objective is there, the weakness that we have, that we are not able to give time to our devotees who are in need or not able to mentor them, is an opportunity that we can by systemizing a devotee care program, by putting a database first. Database is one of the crude things that we can. There's an opportunity to if you use the opportunity to build a database, to create mentorship programs, to be more with the people, the weakness can be overcome. And I think in the last session, I told how some of the devotees at whom I met recently, I was extremely shocked to see what they are going through, and they feel completely left out in the moment of their problems. Of course, there's some fault from their side also, in my opinion. They did not reach out, and they knowing that people or other devotees are very busy. But nevertheless, there is something that we also have to learn, right? This is one thing. And the real challenge is this thing, last one, weakness and threat. This is where the real thinking has to come for innovation. If you take the most of the real successful exponential growth endeavors, if you see, weakness and threat stories. I mean, I can talk about many of them in my own industry because I'm in the IT field. IT field is one of the fields which is very, very dynamically changing in the last 40 years because it's a new field. Every now and then new thing comes, companies go down, companies merge or acquisition keeps happening. And innovation, if you see the kind of innovations that happened in the last 30 years of our information technology, I don't think in any field it happened so much. Because the IT technology progress, all the other lines of businesses have used IT. For example, finance became finance to this extent because they use IT. Without IT, they're gone, right? People like Muralidharan Prabhu, Rachakaran Prabhu, they will not be able to do much in their jobs. People like Sumangal Prabhu, they cannot do much without the technology in their offices. And Radha Madhav Mataji also cannot function without using technology and the improvements in that. So this combination that we have to use. So basically, left-hand side, we have to fill the strength and weaknesses that we have already identified and take each of these combinations and do it. And we don't have to do for all the strengths and all the opportunities, all the weaknesses, and no. Actually, for the assignment, GBC College needs only one such combination. But however, as far as because it's a very important and a useful assignment, I request each one of you to pick up two from the presentation. In the previous slides, I've given the inventory of the list item. Pick up two and try to do this exercise. Try to exercise as much as you're thinking. You can talk to your family members, your friends in doing so if you need help. But mostly it is a churning of our own thing. And weakness and threat is one thing where a lot of innovative thinking happens, and weakness and opportunity, risk thinking happens. Strength opportunity is a very linear thinking. The strength and threat is kind of an engineering kind of a thinking, analysis thinking. So kindly make a note. So that's why this assignment is very, very, very interesting. So we need to put this, we need to take 2 sets and do this. And in between, if you need anything doubt, we can always chat in our common WhatsApp thing. But let's try to do the best, because if we really do it well, it not only fulfills the mandate of the college assignment, but it will also immensely help. This one sheet that we can give it to Sriola Prabhu that will help him in many ways. Structure, database, application, seva systemization, so many things would come in one single sheet. And this is a result of culmination of so much of work that we have done. It comes into one single sheet. For the assignment, of course, we are giving only one to GBC college, but collectively, the two ones that we do it will immensely help him and the leadership team in Damodar-Dash. Okay. So how do we do this? The very GBC college has taken a very good model. So from the 4 boxes, you take away 1 box each. So strength is there, opportunity is there. You write strength and opportunities. You can type in. So what are the questions that you can ask? How can I use my strength to leverage the opportunity? What new strengths will the opportunity give me? As I told you, that I have a lot of money and I see this thing is crashing. I buy I buy a villa so that later I can do it. Same thing. I have a strength. I have more than 1 house to live in Dubai, and I see the prices are going up. I sell one of the properties and make profit and move to other house. And then when these things go down, I'll be. So I have the strength of money with me and I can leverage the opportunities, right? So for example, take strength S and match it to an opportunity. We should ask ourselves how the strength can be used to capitalize the opportunity and how that opportunity to be used. So from a devotee, our project perspective, strength, phenomenal tactical ability, excellent outreach, very well respected even in the outreach. Year on year, Damodar Aarti programs, Kirtan Rasa programs, and other communities asking us, that's a big strength. Opportunity, we should leverage this opportunity to increase our conversion rate. I'm just giving an example. I don't want to give too many examples because otherwise I will be kind of influencing your thought process. You can be as innovative as possible as thinking about. And next, take the other box, put the weakness and opportunities. And how can I reduce or eliminate a weakness by leveraging an opportunity? What weakness could this opportunity introduce? Right? You can think in your thing, and then strength and threats. How can the strength counteract and minimize a threat? How a new strength that we need to build can counter a threat. Again, leave it for your thinking. You can take those example things that I've shown, and then we can do. And then same thing, weakness and threat. So in the GBC college discussion, we had a breakout session on this because this is the most complex one, in my opinion. Because you have a weakness, you have a threat. How can you get benefit out of it, except for running away? But we will see sometimes what strategies that we need to do. How can we reduce our weakness when dealing with this threat, and what weaknesses must we strengthen to reduce threat? So in the Rupanagar Prabhu has told us an example which Muralidhar Prabhu also knows much better than me. That is about a story of a Mangalore temple. Before COVID, Mangalore temple, they were trying to build a temple, and they were having funds issue. Congregation themselves are not able to give so much of donations to have a temple. Lakshmi was an issue there, and COVID came, and like many others, or unlike few others, they didn't have much of a knowledge about how they would jump onto the online world. Devotees are not able to come to the temple as it is. They were having tough time to get the funds, and devotees are not able to come to the temple, and they started telling Prabhu, we want to come to the temple, we can't. So they have to pick on to the online thing, and they also have to think on a long term on the temple thing. So that was a weakness is there, that they didn't know how to use the Zoom technology, how to use the online mode much. So that was a definitely clear weakness, and time was ticking. Others were picking up. And threat was that, they may lose devotees. So how they converted it, they quickly learned how to get onto the online world. Not only started classes, they started online courses. And those courses became so popular, and their reach went beyond the Mangalore community. And in the 3 years, mainly only through the financial resources, contributions they got through their online courses, they are now able to build a temple. This is the story of Namanishta Prabhu, who created something when they were faced with a weakness and a threat. They didn't change anything. They created something, right? I was giving a model of Tesla. Eric Ellison created a market. which wasn't there before. Whereas if you see Zoom is strength and threat. Zoom, for example, how it grew as almost a default, video conferencing platform. When COVID started, there were so many other things. Cisco WebEx was an online platform 10 years before. Many of the organizations used what is known as Cisco WebEx. They actually pioneered a concept of online meeting, and then GoToMeeting and other smaller things with it. But when COVID started, they were not able to capitalize. They were not able to consumerize their technology, which was so strong and very good. And within few months, Zoom picked up, and Zoom had a lot of deficiencies, a lot of threats in terms of competitions, very less strengths. But they quickly moved on. First, they fixed the security gaps. They demonstrated that are simple to use. They've simplified their licensing policy. They first started to consumerize and made it available for people at home for their personal use, and then it went into the businesses also. So they used a impending threat of a competition and a technology deficiency that they had, which would have overcome, but they used the strength of agility, strength of consumerization, speed at which they made it themselves, and now almost they became a synonymous, right? So there are many stories. You may have your own stories in your own professional life. But so basically, I'll again go back here. So this is the starting point. We already have these opportunities, threats. We have also identified strengths and weaknesses. We need to pick up two examples from each of these, whichever one you like it. Complete this box left-hand side and get prepared to have a near future action plan and a long future aspiration. Combinations SOSTWOWT, and then to fill this box left side and try to fill the box on the right side. Make it simple, make it as much as possible practical. But only thing is, do not worry. We don't have to be too much bent on the practicality. We can be aspirational also. Because a lot of these things, particularly the weakness, threat, and weakness, strength, is a combination where a lot of risk taking and innovation comes into play. We can be very aspirational also, because what we are building is not only for 1 year, 2 years. It's going to be for 3-4 years to come. This will become a baseline into that. So how do we do that? Take each box, put these combinations, answer these questions, and do this. And each one of us will do two sets, and then we'll combine together. As simple as that. And once you do this, done. We again come back to the main thing and put it into one thing. And this is what the gift that we should be giving to Srivalla Prabhu, saying that we have done this SWOT analysis on the devotee care as a project, and these are our things, and this is what and from then onwards, converting into objectives and key result areas will become very simple. Okay. So this is one sample. I'm also going to send 2 samples of already work done in the previous GBC college assignments. One in the West country, one in the West, somewhere in the US, I think, and one is in Ahmedabad program, so that you know how they have done it. Very simple. And so once you go through that, so I will give you this presentation, and then I'll send you the sample sheets, worksheets, and I'll also send 2 completed analysis. So you have all the things that you need, and this session you can always refer. So now I'll just leave few minutes for question and answers, and then I'll take you through one of the phenomenal sessions that we had with one Mataji, by her name, Her Grace Prabhupada Priya Mataji, and she used an example of this exercise that we do, taking a Leela of Krishna, which I'm going to explain to you, and how nicely she has done it. So for a few questions for a few minutes, and then I'll go to that. Am I clear, Prabhu? Because this session is a challenge for me to be able to understand something from what I learned and able to articulate what is needed. Any questions or any concerns or any apprehensions?
Hare Krishna, Prabhu, it is very clear.
Yeah.
But the topic seems very complicated. We have to
No.
work.
Yes, Prabhu. But if you meditate on that and then you will get there. Even when I was, I'll tell you an interesting thing sometimes, because sometimes the fatigue and we have these three things that are run parallel, right, in GBC. One is the ALP projects that we are doing with you, and we have asynchronous courses. Every now and then they launch a course, and the course we have to listen to audio, see the PPTs, have some audio assessments, compile and send, do the quizzes, do the written assessment. They are one by one, it keeps coming. And then we have synchronous courses. In September, we had about 7 of them, coming from office and immediately sitting for almost 1.5 hours, 2 hours. So it's a very tiring thing. So when this came, so on that day, I was also very, very tired, actually. I'm getting a bit of a thing comes. So even before Rupanaka Prabhu started the class, I said, Prabhu, we have already done opportunities and threats, and we have already done strengths and weaknesses. It looks like in this exercise, you have only fill the boxes and complete the exercise. That's all. Is that so? So he said, he laughed at me and said, no, it's not like that. If that be the case, you can close and go. But it's not that. There's something interesting that you have to do and put your brains together, because if you want to really develop a strategy, is that. So I was very concerned. First thing, I didn't expect an answer like that from him, but he was right. And as we were going through that thing with group access, we were also very confused. I was also very confused. Then I said, no. So one thing, by being a professionally an engineer or whatever, in the very nature of job, when these things comes, I go to the table. So I read few articles on the SWOT analysis. I also got a very nice small book. I'll scan some few pages also and send it. So then I said no. Then I transcribed Prabhu's video lecture, edited it. I got an automatic transcription service now to help me in these projects. And then I reread that whole transcript. So then I got an idea. And then I said, no, if I just go through the transcript and explain to you people, I'll be very confused, because I was still a bit confused, just like the way I was also feeling it's a bit tough. But then I said, let me prepare a presentation. So I prepared this. So what you see is a very simplified form of what I learned. Yes, it looks very difficult, or looks, but when you go through my next presentation, you will see a great inspiration. You'll also find to appreciate the greatness of ISKCON and the flavor of devotees that we have in ISKCON, and how they read and analyze things, right, and explain. So with your permission, I'll try to make it simple, because now we are not depending on our intelligence to do this so-called complex exercise. We will see what Krishna has done it in one of the pastimes. Yeah. So it's going to be very interesting. And it was, I'm not able to explain the way Prabhupada Priya Mataji has explained. She's an expert, but she opened our eyes on how we can look at some of the purports of Srila Prabhupada and understand dealers for our own benefits. So this exercise, even though it's complex, again, I repeat for the 3rd time in this session, it's not only going to help us in this project, it's going to help us in other sevas that we do, our own personal lives, and also in business, in our professional lives. So now let me go back. You are able to see the screen?
Yes, Prabhu.
I'll keep it like this only, Prabhu, because I want to read these things. So is the speaker notes visible to anyone? Can someone read it?
Yeah, Hare Krishna Babaji.
Yeah.
When Krishna was in Vrindavan, he performed many activities which are not to be imitated by ordinary conditioned souls. But when he shifts to Mathura and Dwarka, his mood also changes. And it is specifically said that in many of Krishna's Dwarka Leelas, he was acting in a certain way to set an example for ordinary people to follow. Since Krishna was a leader, the king of Dwarka, devotees who are leaders can learn much from Krishna's Dwarka Leela, while simultaneously relishing the bliss of meditating on Krishna, our supreme object of love. Very
So
good.
we will also meditate on Krishna to give us that intelligence to complete this activity. So Mataji has taken 3 sessions. One is Krishna's strategic planning. That's what we are going to do today, because it is something to do with SWOT analysis, and then living a balanced life and the relations between leaders. These are the other two sessions. So the pastime that we are going to go through is 10th canto, 50th and 51 chapters, how Krishna has used. So I will quickly go through that. Of course, this is foundation. Of course, this is how the activities have to be performed now. So the one of the Krishna does, what he does as a strategic planner, he creates a very diverse team. So can someone read the bottom thing?
Hare Krishna. Before he even descends to this world, Krishna assembles his team, and in Dwaraka, he is very much a team player. You must have learned about the building team roles and the importance of having a diverse range of personalities. Each of these personalities enrich the team with their unique perspectives and skills. When Narada Muni visited Dwaraka, he saw that Krishna would meet with his team members and do strategic planning.
Okay. So what was like, just like we have a very diverse team from an age group of 63 plus years like me to I think probably 26, 27 years age group of Pundrik Prabhu. We have diverse people, diverse in our professional lives, diverse in our seva lines, and diverse in our personalities also, right? And we have a team. So we have the Krishna's team as a challenging, dynamic Balram, scholarly Uddhava, cooperative, diplomatic Akrura, and conscientious, painstaking Yudhishthir, eager, action-oriented Bhima, skillful, reliable Arjuna. So he had his own team built. And then, in purport of 10th canto 6931, can someone read this?
Yes, Prabhu. In one place, he was planning battles in consultation with some of his advisors, and in another place, he was making peace. Somewhere, Lord Keshava and Lord Balrama were together, pondering the welfare of the pious.
Yeah. So basically, when they were doing thinking, they were pondering on the welfare of the pious. So same way, in our project also, we are also pondering and making that effort to enhance our devotee care, to systemize our processes, to be able to be a much more value to our congregation members. Okay, so this is the purpose of Krishna coming in, and he also came to reveal his transcendental names, qualities, and abode, and then to enjoy the pastimes. So now, okay, from here it starts. So whatever we are doing, is it consistent with our mission? That's what I've just told. Our mission is this. So can someone, this is the thing coming from the purport. Can someone read this? I'll try to scroll down. 1 second, if I can. Yeah. Yes, Prabhu. So from here onwards, the assignment comes. Carefully read this. Yeah. Can someone else want to pick it up?
Yes, Prabhu, I can do it.
Yeah.
Prabhu. It's a little small for me. 1 second. I can read the below notes, right, Prabhu?
Yeah, yeah.
In Srimad Bhagavatam 10 Canto 50 chapter 4 shloka, we hear about how Jarasandha, who was one of the most powerful demons on the planet, attacked Mathura with 23 Aukshahini divisions, which is over 5 million soldiers. This is more than the total number of soldiers on both sides in the Battle of Kurukshetra, which was only 18 Aukshahinis. So this was a serious threat. What did Krishna do? He set the example for leaders for all time reflecting on his mission. In text 7 to 10, Sukhdev Goswami tells us what Krishna is thinking. He thinks, well, the purpose of my present incarnation is to relieve the earth of its burden, protect the pious, and kill the impious. Whenever irreligion flourished, it is my mission to suppress it and re-establish religion. So, with that mission very clear in his mind, he then considers what will be the best strategy for achieving this. Sridhar Swami says that Krishna asked himself how to deal with this threat. Should I just kill all of them, Jarasandha and his army? Should I kill Jarasandha and take the army for myself? or should I kill the army but not Jarasandha? And how did he make his decision? He did something like a SWOT analysis.
Yeah. So Krishna, there are different combinations, right? Strength and opportunity. So Krishna has the strength. He has an opportunity. Jarasandha is coming. Did he directly kill Jarasandha? No. He has used a different block in that SWOT thing, right? He used Jarasandha's weakness and threat and came up with some other different strategy so that he can fulfill his mission. Yeah. So let's see how. So this is SWOT analysis. So how did Krishna do this SWOT analysis? And this is all Mataji picked up and prepared this slide deck sheerly by looking at the purports. So it's a very, very interesting way she has done it. Yeah. Can someone read it?
Can I, Prabhu?
Yeah, sure, Mataji.
He perceived the threat. Jarasandha was attacking Mathura. He knew his strength. He would kill Jarasandha and his army without much difficulty. But in the threat, he also saw an opportunity. If I keep Jarasandha alive, he will bring army after army of demonic soldiers to my doorstep and save me the trouble of going to find them. So he decides to kill Jarasandha's whole army, but to let Jarasandha escape with his life. Later, Jarasandha did exactly what Krishna had hoped for. He brought the same size army, 23 Akshohini, 17 times to Mathura, and 17 times they were all killed except Jarasandha. In this way, Krishna was able to easily dispose of almost 86 million demons, which was a great achievement in his mission for relieving the burden of the earth. But sometimes, even when he has a great plan and things are going well, something unexpected happens. Did this ever happen to you in your service as an ISKCON leader?
Yeah. So it's very interesting, right? So even Krishna had a plan, but then something also happened to Krishna that was quite unexpected. And that's where comes Kalayavana. So in our services also, something happens like this, right? The strength or weakness of your project change suddenly, a new threat or opportunity arose which caused you to re-strategize. So can someone read it? Or should I go ahead? I will read it. Okay. Yeah, sure. Go ahead.
Take responses. These kinds of things happen all the time, sometimes big, sometimes small. So it is important to go back occasionally, at least once a year, and reassess the SWOT analysis because the material world is always changing. You may come up with the beautiful, inspiring strategic plan, but then someone happens, man proposes and God disposes. In fact, even small changes, for example, can open you up to a new threat or shut down an opportunity that you thought you had. So it is important to go back occasionally, at least once a year, and revisit our strategic plan, reassess the SWOT analysis, and perhaps rewrite some of our strategic objectives. Krishna also had to deal with an unexpected threat.
So one thing so this is the reason why we need to revisit and keep things alive. For example, we may be thinking of growing our congregation. We have grown our congregation. Congregation is growing, but still we are using some temporary facilities, right? For that, we have to take permission every time. What happens? Some other government restrictions come. I mean, I'm just devil's advocate thinking, and they said that schools may not be permitted to do this. Then that whole of thing, suddenly a new threat that emerges, right? So then we need to work on a firefighting basis. So, but if these kind of things are there, then we know that even though we are very comfortable, we have good strength, excellent facility, we are able to do that. But that strength, it has an inherent risk, inherent threat is there at any time that can change. So is it worthwhile pursuing for something, a place that is more of us, a legal entity forming or other, but that also has got a cost, that also has got an overhead, that also has got a limitations and risks. But SWOT analysis keeps us alive, those thinking processes. So yeah, then when Lord Krishna and Lord Sankarsana saw Kalayavana Kalayavana came as a new threat, which was not expected. Suddenly he came out of the blue. Krishna thought about the situation and said, oh, a great danger now threatens the Yadus from two sides. So Krishna realized the threat. He had the strength. He could see a threat coming up, and he also could identify a weakness there. Just before Jarasandha's 18th attack, another demonic warrior, Kalayavana, attacked Mathura. Kalayavana came with 60 Akshanis of a barbarian soldiers, which is much more than Jarasandha brought in any single attack. Kalayavana himself was no ordinary person. He was the son of Garga Muni, who had worshipped Lord Shiva and taken a vow to eat only powdered iron for 12 years with an intention having a son who could terrify the Yadus who had previously laughed at him. Lord Shiva gave Garga Muni that benediction and empowered his son Kalayavana with the fury of Mahakala, Lord Shiva's form of time, which destroyed the whole universe. And he also had the benediction of Lord Shiva that no Yadu, including Krishna, would be able to stand up to him. So that was a huge problem. And to make matters worse, Jarasandha was on the way to attack again the huge army within the next couple of days. Krishna had to go back and reassess his SWOT scenario. So he had got a new threat, and at least Jarasandha, Krishna had an opportunity, strength to kill him. But Kalayavana, Krishna cannot kill because Shiva had given him a boon. So it's a very interesting thing. So Krishna has to see a means that somebody should be there to kill Kalayavana, and Kalayavana himself is very strong. So the new threat has come, and a new opportunity also has come. What is that opportunity? He has got now more people to eliminate, from more demonic people to eliminate from the earth, that satisfies his Pavitranaya sadhanam thing. So he does so this is an exercise that we have to do. So like we said, strength and opportunity, weakness, threat, same thing. So let's see how Krishna has done it. So strength, Krishna is the supreme personality of the Godhead. He has a strong team, including specialist Vishwakarma. That is his strength. To manifest opportunity is to start his Leela of Dwaraka. So he's ending his Mathura. From Vrindavan, he came to Mathura, and Mathura from Dwaraka Leela also, it has to manifest. It's a part of his overall purpose, right? So this is a time for him to manifest that Dwaraka Leela. It's an opportunity. And Vishwakarma is used Vishwakarma to construct a fortress in Dwaraka. So he has used his strength, he has used an opportunity to perform Leela and strengthen the. And of course, then the Dwaraka city is built, and it's a very nice picture that Mataji has taken. And then how did he use the weakness and threat? Kalayavana attacking and Jarasandha coming soon. That's a terrible threat, double threat. Krishna cannot use Kalayavana due to benediction of Lord Shiva. Then what did Krishna do? Innovative thinking. Run away to save Yadus. He had to do something which people may not like to remember Krishna like that, but Krishna showed that he is a very good strategic thinker, and he ran away. So weakness and threat. So he has used a very innovative way to do that. So he avoided the weakness, and he used the weakness, and he avoided the threat realizing. Okay. And then how did it fulfill Krishna's mission? Then Kalayavana was. Can someone read this?
Yeah, Prabhuji. How did this fulfill Krishna's mission? One is that he acquired a new transcendental name of this Rancor, one who runs away.
Ranchor.
Yeah. One who runs away. And he also revealed some amazing personal qualities, that he is totally equipoised in honor and dishonor. Usually, and Krishna says this himself, for one who is honored, dishonor is worse than death. Okay. And for a Kshatriya to run away from the battlefield when challenged by an opponent is very disgraceful. Even when Kalayavana was yelling to him, "Yea, you are born in the Yadu dynasty. It's not proper for you to run away." Krishna remained completely calm. He was not faced by Kalyavanas insult because his motive was not adoration or a distinction. He didn't care about his position or what people would say or think about him. Why? Because he was fixed on his mission to protect the pious citizens of Dwarka and have this demon killed as soon as possible. So in this part of the pastime, we see another good example that Krishna says for leaders. Do your duty without worrying about your own reputation. Now let's look at the next quadrant. Very good.
So how did Krishna use weakness and opportunity? Krishna can't kill Kalyavana due to benediction of Shiva. And then opportunity, he thought that this is a good time to honor his devotees. And then what he decides? He identified someone who could kill Kalyavana, that is Muchukunda, and he also maintained the word of Lord Shiva. So he's used the weakness that he cannot kill. I mean, we cannot use the word weakness in terms of Krishna, but taking the pastime as it is in the analysis, you can say Krishna had a limitation there. He cannot, because Lord Shiva himself has given benediction. Just like the Narasimhadev has to come in a very special form to eliminate Hiranyakashipu, right? Because Hiranyakashipu got a benediction from Brahma. So one way is Supreme Personality would have overrun Brahma's benediction to Hiranyakashipu. He did not do. So that means that it's diminishing the power of the controller, that empowered power. So same way Krishna respected, honored Shiva's benediction, but he had a strategy to find somebody to kill Kalyavana, that he chose Muchukunda. And Muchukunda also is glorified, became glorified, and by that and Krishna maintained this. So in this way, Muchukunda is a story of Muchukunda comes, Kalyavana goes there, Muchukunda opens his eyes, and Kalyavana is done. So this is, and then how did Krishna use strength and threat? So Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and he has a strong team. We said how Krishna formed his team. And Jarasandha is still coming with his final army of soldiers and kill Jarasandha and his army. So he has used his strength and the threat of Jarasandha to kill first his army and then kill Jarasandha. Is this what happened? No, because this may have been a part of Krishna's original strategic plan. Situation changed again. When Jarasandha heard Krishna had run away from battle, he considered him an unworthy opponent to fight, and Kshatriya cannot fight with an unwilling opponent. So now Krishna had to call his team together, revisit the strategic plan, and come up with new strategic objectives. So when we have to overcome a threat, even though we have strength, we have to revisit. I won't tell you what new strategy was, because we're going to discuss in the pastime in the detailed section 3, how then he chooses, he consults the Pandavas, he takes Arjuna and others.
Arjuna, Bhima, they will go there, yes.
Yes, yeah.
They will
So,
in
summary, Krishna did what? He was focused on his mission, continuously assess strength, weakness, threats, and opportunities. So what we are doing is not new. When Krishna did it. So I really like the way Mataji has taken this example to present a complicated, what we think that is a complicated exercise, to inspire us. And being considerate to the feeling of the devotees, not worrying about his own reputation, thinking strategically. Krishna was able to eliminate the immediate threats, Kalyavana and Jarasandha coming, avoid being limited by weakness. He had a weakness that he cannot kill Kalyavana, but he took an alternate approach, utilized his team strength. He could not do it. He used Muchukunda, he used Bhima, he used Arjuna. I think Yudhishthira, right? Yudhishthira, Arjuna, Yudhishthira, Bhima, Arjuna, Bhima, because I forgot the past time. Utilized his team
Arjuna,
strength.
Bhima, Prabhu.
And he consulted Balarama, he consulted other people, take the full advantage of his opportunities, and he fulfill his mission gloriously. So this is the example that Mataji has told us. So this should inspire us that we should also think strategically to do this. So what I will do now, I will send this presentation, this Mataji's presentation, and I will send my presentation, which I tried to explain. I'll send you the sample worksheet. I'll also send you 2 completed examples, 2 completed assignments from the previous alumni of GBC College. So this should equip us with, and we have a full list of opportunities and threats. and then strength and weakness. And again, I repeat, eventually, for the completion of the project, we need to take only one set that is there. But for the exercise, for us to exercise our brains, we'll each one of us do 2 pairs we can do. And then we'll, after 2-3 weeks, we'll again meet. So we have very good time to think about it, ponder about it, take one aspect, and then you think, churn it out. And I don't think we'll get it right in the first shot itself. We can iterate, we can even share our things, our work in progress, whenever there's time permits, and you can always think. So it will be very wasteful. Again, I feel that if you do it with our sincerity, surrounding ourselves to our respective gurus for the benefit of Yatra, something that we have to give to Srila Prabhu and the leadership in doing this thing, which has got some practical significance, and also it will help us to improve our devotee care throughout our Damodar Desh, and also we become an instrument for Damodar Desh mission to grow exponentially in the future years. So I stop here. Thanks a lot for all the time. I slightly exceeded my time, but if you have any quick questions, you can ask me. Otherwise, we can later also we can exchange our ideas and thoughts. I feel that we have come to a very interesting and a challenging assignment. Let's try to do our best. So far, our journey has been good. Our previous 2 assignments have not yet been graded, the pest analysis and the strength and weaknesses, but I somehow feel at least we'll pass, we'll cross the passing mark for sure, in my opinion, and self-assessment. But let's see for how assessor feels. So let's pray and continue to be thankful for GBC College for giving us this wonderful sessions. So I'll stop the and if you have any questions, we'll do this, and after that we'll end.
Yeah, Prabhuji,
Yeah.
I have on a suggestion here that if we need to send one what I call one strength or weakness, one strength and one weakness, right, to GBC, yeah. So then is it not good that all of us, those 2, if we decide, then we make that common to all of us and then take another one?
No, yeah, correct. It's a good suggestion. I personally don't want to do it, Prabhu. I wanted you to give the opportunity for you to think more. It's an opportunity for us to take this challenge. Sometimes when challenge comes, when we are pushed towards the wall, we think very innovatively, right? It's important we take this challenge. If we do that, we can do the assignment quickly and we can do it, we can pass. But that we lose the opportunity. We use our strength of collaboration, but we lose the opportunity to think. Okay, let this threat and weakness be apparent. A threat that I may not be able to do, a weakness that I do not know the subject. Let that threat and weakness combination make us think. I have a weakness that I don't know the subject. I have a threat that I have to submit to Jagan Prabhu something, right? So how do I take this weakness and threat and convert into something that I've never done before? So let's get into that mode of anxiety, deep thinking, and challenging ourselves. It helps. It immensely helps only when somebody challenges us and say something. Oh no, it's not. So what you can do, Prabhu, or all others, you can take one block which is more comfortable to you, put your thoughts and share it in our WhatsApp forum, so you can get some suggestions. Work in progress.
Probably, but it may happen that we are me, Rachikananda Prabhu and Muridharan Prabhu, we select something which we may not go. You will not send to the GBC, so our input will not go there, isn't it?
No. Sending to GBC, as I told you, sending to GBC is only part of it. It's only fulfilling the assignment. Giving to Srivala Prabhu is much more valuable to me.
Okay. Yeah, I understand.
Yatra. When I say Srivala Prabhu, sorry, I'm taking the name.
I got your point now.
Yatra is much more. So one is an exam and other is a utility of that, right? You don't read only for exam. You have to wrap. So then it seeps in. Only when we take the challenge, it comes. Sometimes taking the challenge and there are some easy ways to do it, but it helps. It helps. So, yeah. Any other questions from any others?
No, Prabhuji. Thank you.
Punrik Prabhu or Rasikan Prabhu, I hope I was able to clearly
Prabhu, in
articulate.
the first chart,
Yeah.
there was the scoring is there, no 10, 1, 2, 3, 4 like this. I could not understand that.
Which chart, Prabhu?
In the first presentation.
Ah, yeah. That's the cobweb diagram I've created for
Okay. It is
we have
not the
done
real
this.
scoring, right?
Ah, you were not there in the last presentation, Prabhu, last session.
Yeah.
So when we went through the maturity, we did you go through the document that I've sent on strength and weaknesses.
Yeah, Prabhu. Yeah.
So the right side, basically, I was trying to add some visual appearance to the thing to slightly make it a bit professional. So these are the things. The scores are 0 to 10. 10 is the maximum score that one can get, right?
Yeah, Prabhu.
So when you do a relatively from the leadership to, if you're on the right side, if you see, these are our strengths. Leadership definitely comes out of the top strength. Our resource availability, even temporary facilities are a strength because very reliable thing. Our cash funding is reasonably good. Technology utilization, very good. Reputation is very good. Brand Damodarish is good. Financial accounting is good. No issues. In 30 years, we never had any issue of somebody raising a question. None of the financial things are there. There are some improvements. That's why it's 8. Cultural, also culture is very well known. But what are the weaknesses? If we don't have formal structure, systemized process, mission vision is not, from a project perspective, we have done, but we have not formalized it. By practice, it is there, but not formally it's there. Formal strategy, facilities, registered is not there. Database is 0. So this tells the maturity scores of strength and weakness at a scale of 10.
So this is internal, right, Prabhu?
Pardon?
This is internal.
Internal. But
I
strength
was
and
thinking
weakness is
it is
always internal.
written by GBC.
No.
Okay.
This is our project. This is taken from the project assignment. You can read that document. It's not a very long document. Recently, I've sent it. I think you were there in Chennai when we discussed it.
Yeah, I read it, Prabhu. I read it, yeah.
Now you got it, right?
Yes, Prabhu, yeah. Thank you, Prabhu. Understood.
Any other questions? So we can conclude the session.
Okay with me, Prabhu. It's a bit challenging exercise, but yeah, hopefully we can get through it, Prabhu.
Let's do that challenge, Prabhu. Sometimes by doing these challenging things, it helps. I'll share before